There we go. Hey, Allison Verhalen here, coming at you live for today's Tip Tuesday. And today I am actually talking to you about Gmail's spam update. So, not talking Google, we're focusing more on email marketing today. This was it may or may not have been part of Google's spam update. Google, if you may or may not remember October of last year, back in 2023, Google launched a spam update trying to make it harder for spammy content to rank highly in searches. We think part of that may have included the spam filter in Gmail. Some people at the time, even though Google hadn't announced it yet, some people were noticing their Gmail spam filter was going a little wonky. And they were like, is this part of the Google spam update for searches? Is this related somehow? What's going on here? So it should not have been, according to Google. Google said back in October they were going to be updating their spam filter in Gmail, but that it would not take effect until February 2024, which for those of you watching this live, you know that was just last month. So we have just wrapped up February and are into March. So I thought it would be a good time to talk about, what it is, what it means. Do you have to worry about it? Do you not have to worry about it? So basically, it means that Gmail recently introduced requirements for bulk senders. Now, a bulk sender is defined as those who send more than 5,000 emails per day. That's a lot of emails. If you have a $5,000 subscriber list, awesome, good for you. I hope that's really doing good things for your business, because if it's not, you should look at your email marketing strategy. So that is the first and foremost, is most of us don't really have to be worried about it. We don't fit into this. I certainly don't. So if that is you, great. Let's talk about what we can do to make sure that you are not getting caught in that spam filter. First and foremost, prove you're you. You're going to go through the authentication process. Google will reach out to you and make sure, are you you? Just check in, just make sure you're a real human and not just a robot sending out a bunch of spam emails. So that is first and foremost. Second, make quitting easy. And again, this is fairly obvious, I think, is to make it super easy for people to unsubscribe. I've talked to a lot of solopreneurs who take it really personally when people unsubscribe from their newsletter. And I will admit, I feel a twinge as well when I see someone has unsubscribed from my newsletter. But it's not personal, it's business, right? And if they're unsubscribing, it is because they are not interested in your content. In which case, they're just saying, no, this isn't for me. And they are self-selecting to leave your newsletter. That is a good thing. Now they're not cluttering up your newsletter, your subscriber list. That should increase your open rate, because if they're not interested, then hopefully more of the people who are already subscribed will actually be opening your emails because they will be interested in it. So that increases your open rate, which is a good thing. So don't take it personally when people unsubscribe. Make it super easy for them to unsubscribe. If you use something like MailChimp, Constant Contact, any of those email management systems, they automatically do this right at the bottom. Yes, it's tiny, but it's there, right? It's that little unsubscribe button. Anyone can scroll down and click on it. They're gone. So make it super easy. So they tend to do that for you. So if you are not using MailChimp, Constant Contact, or something like that, then you absolutely should. Those email marketing systems also kind of bypass a lot of the filters that Google puts in place of like, wait a minute, this is sending out a whole lot of emails. Let's check this out, right? If it's coming through MailChimp or Constant Contact or any of those systems, then Google's going to give it a pass because they know how it works. They know how MailChimp and Constant Contact work. Make sure people actually want to get your emails. Again, most email marketing systems do this for you. I know MailChimp every time someone subscribes to my newsletter, they automatically get an email going, are you sure you're going to subscribe to this list? Are you sure you want to get this? Just to double check, right? So again, make sure that they want to get your emails. Again, there's no reason to have someone getting your emails. There's no reason to add people to your list if they don't want to be there. So again, make sure they want your emails and make it really easy for them to unsubscribe. This is also, again, a really good reason to go and reach out to people who have not opened any of your newsletters in, let's say, the past year, right? Reach out, say, hey, just want to check in, make sure you still want these emails. If not, we're going to go ahead and remove you. If you do want to stay subscribed, then let us know. We'll leave you on the list. Otherwise, if you say no, or if we don't hear from you, we're just going to take you off the list. What's happening there is either they're seeing your emails and just deleting them without reading them, or it's going straight to their spam folder, or they've changed email addresses and they're no longer checking that email address. So if they haven't opened any of your emails, there's a pretty good chance that they're not even seeing them, in which case they're taking up space on your email list, and you might as well just cut the chaff and, again, focus on the people who really want to get those emails. And if they are seeing your emails and deleting them month after month, week after week, then they probably don't want your emails. So go ahead and take them off the list. Send them that email, make sure they still want to be on the list, but if they're not opening, or if they don't respond, or if they say no, then don't feel bad about taking them off the list. Again, you're cutting the chaff and making sure that you have a higher open rate, because the greater percentage of people who are still on your email list actually want to get your emails and are more likely to open and read and convert. So absolutely follow up every year or two, I would say. Make sure they still want to get those. So I don't know about you, but I always see these things account for, or apply to the systems that are sending out like 5,000 emails per day. So I go, well, what if I send 4,999 emails per day, right? So Gmail is getting pretty tight on security. We're still getting spam. Gmail is never going to be able to 100% get rid of spam. It would be great if they could. It's just not going to happen. There will inevitably be spammers who are going to send out 4,000 or 4,999 emails per day, just so they don't have to deal with that. So still look out for spam emails, right? As a user, if you use Gmail, you're still going to get those spam, but that's just where my brain always goes. Like, well, what if I do this? So you probably could get away with that if you are sending 4,000 plus, between 4,000 and 5,000 emails per day. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying theoretically you could, and you might get through to their inbox. But again, are you then going to get them to open and engage with and convert? Probably not. Not if it's spammy content. But if your goal is just to get in there, you probably could. So that was just something that I thought of, because that's where my brain goes. So what does this update mean for email marketing? Not a whole lot. Again, if you're using something like MailChimp or Constant Contact, first of all, if you're not, I highly recommend you do. It makes life so much easier. You don't have to put in a million email addresses every time you send in an email, right? So, or 5,000 email addresses, or 4,000 email addresses, or however many people you have on your list. It should not affect you, because those systems, MailChimp, Constant Contact, they take care of all of this for you. They take care of the authentication. They take care of making sure people really want to be on your list. They make it easy for people to unsubscribe. There's not a whole lot else to do. So I absolutely, if you have not already, I highly, highly recommend I use MailChimp. That's my go-to. I don't really have strong feelings over, MailChimp, over Constant Contact, over any of the other options. They all do more or less the same thing. Honestly, I use MailChimp because some friends of mine were using it when I was in the process of starting my business. So that's how I got onto MailChimp. Love it. No complaints about MailChimp, but that is my favorite. But I'm not gonna tell you have to go with MailChimp, or you shouldn't go with MailChimp or anything else. It's find one that works for you and stick with that. So that is it. That is everything I have for you today. If you have any other questions, please, you can just leave me a comment here on this video, or you can find me over at my website with more tips like this over at AV, as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. And you can always reach out to me directly by sending me an email at info@avwritingservices.com. That's it. Have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.